Okay, Dwayne, what about we start telling people to come and receive the miracle of awareness? What do you say about that?
Well, again, when you start using these ideas, these old ideas, miracles, or anything, like we talked about prayer, and I am writing a group on that to better define that. As you start adding that to it, okay, that's like your car trying to add a fifth wheel to it. Is it necessary? So again, if people want miracles, again, let them have their miracles. Let them look to the miracles. We don't do miracles. We make sense of things. That becomes the difference. And so, we had talked about prayer the last time. You'd asked about prayer and possibly implementing this, etc. So what I've done is I've created this other group about worshiping and prayer, more so defined it, constantly redefining it, and more so defining it. And that is that these are ideas. Miracle is an idea. That's all it is. It's an idea. And it becomes a reality for people to chase it or decide that this is how it is to be so. So again, yes, it just creating anything is a miracle. Creating a car, creating a cell phone, there's a miracle. Okay, that is a miracle to create that. It's the same thing. It's part of the phenomena that's taking place in creation. But because of that creation, does that place you, does that allow you a recognition of the isness? Okay, so that's in creation, that's fine. You've done that, that's fine. And so just like worship and prayer, these are ideas. And really what makes them work? What makes the cell phone work? What makes the car work, these creations? What makes any so-called miracle work? You're seeing miracles all around you. And so everybody has their idea of that, okay? And there is no miracles with your real awareness. There's no such thing, you see? Because it's an isness to be recognized. It's more so than a miracle. It's like the air you breathe. Hey, you can say that's a miracle, but it's not. It already is what it is. We're seeing miracles all the time. And again, I want to refer to prayer. All these things are agreement. Prayer is an agreement. When people decide to pray, they've decided an agreement with that idea. And basically, what is the idea of prayer? That there are gods that you're praying to. Again, another idea. The gods are ideas. So you've agreed to use this idea of prayer to pray to these gods that have been invented. If that makes sense to you, go for it. You see? And so just like what we're doing, it takes an agreement. Yes, just like all the people that are here. They're agreeable to be here to listen, you see, more so than what with they already know. See, so that's the bigger picture. So again, it's really learning to see how these things really work and not just assuming how they work, how things are. And this is where most people, the authorities and all this, the educational systems, the so-called know-it-alls of the world, they're proving to themselves. They think they know what life is. They think they know what creation is about. Well, if they do so much so, just like the Indians did work with the natural environment, they considered to let life show them, and they worked along those lines. Well, today we have the know-it-alls destroying the world. It's the know-it-alls that are destroying the world. It's not the animals and the birds and the children, because they're not the know-it-alls. They're not destroying the world. They're watching everybody else destroy the world. The know-it-alls who think they know more than life itself. So again, when you come back to the idea, again, it's an idea. It's not a true reality. So again, you start to create these things, and what are they really referencing? You have to look at that. So we may use these ideas, but again, when people hear the word miracle, that's what they're expecting. They expect it to be done for them. The idea of a miracle is just that. It's not really their effort. They're expecting someone else to do it for them. Unless you're a magician like David Copperfield, yeah, then you will do the so-called miracles, but are they real? No, it's phenomena. Yeah. So, um, yeah, as we start adding things, so this is where I've defined it as your real awareness, the real you, etc. More so than just soul. People have no idea. The corporation still uses that. People don't know what that is, and they just, you know what? They don't even reference that anymore. Because life is about becoming more aware. That's realistically what it is. Once you make sense of it, what is it about? Just like when you've grown up, you become more aware of the environment you're in. That's step one, okay? And just like the real side or the dream area, again, it's really thought to be dreams. And if it complies with your physical life, well, oh, we're all happy. If it doesn't, it's like, forget it. This is where in the old days, the kings, if they didn't like the soothsayers that told their dreams, they got rid of them. Off with your head. They want to hear happy dreams. They want things to be prosperous according to how they see things accordingly. So, as we stick to, just like a captain of the ship, as he sticks to his course, and doesn't always listen to the crew. It's like, oh, look, Captain, there's that island over there. Let's go over there and let's look at that, and let's run around there for a while. Maybe there's some natives there and we can have fun with them, etc. The captain will look at that, we'll consider that, and it's like, well, you know what? We're a little behind schedule here. We got to keep going. So, we're going to have, we can have fun later, okay, on your time off. So again, it's sticking to the course. And I basically define things. That doesn't mean other people can't, but as we start adding too much funny stuff, then it becomes something else. And then, because again, most people are going to relate to that. They're going to say, oh, you guys do miracles. You do this or that. You're into miracles too. Well, we're really not. It's seeing things how everything really is. So I would suggest not to do that, but again, as I said before, what anybody does out there, you have the free will to do whatever you want. I'll deal with it. I'm fine with it. Doesn't matter. From love to hate, I'll deal with it. So you decide to do with it what you will, and keep in mind that eventually you'll have to deal with it because you're going to have these beggars at your door, you see, and you already got them there. So as you, just like, training dogs or raising children, whatever it is, the end result is, how you've proceeded with that, you see? So if we continually bring in the old ways, well then, again, just like your car, things are going to stay the same, aren't they? And so it is a little bit of a struggle for them to, see the new vocabulary, see the new references. And it's like, well, gee, what is that? And you can't even translate it into other languages. Can't be translated. You see, because it is what it is. This is the best thing about it. So as we establish this, as we establish our own reference, we become that reality too, you see. And the true reality life stands real with us. See, this is what is forgotten in the personal self. Do you see who backs you up when you wake up to what is real and quit fooling around? The whole of life and the boys are there. But if you want to be silly, just like Harry and Darwin and so many others, you think life backs them? It all looks good, doesn't it? Tony Robbins, David Icke, the Pope, the Queen, the President. Hey, they all look really good, don't they? Everybody loved Obama. He was the most dastardly individual of all. And the thing is, they're all that. But the thing is that, is life backing them? Did the boys back them? No, they're all alone. They're all living in their own cause and effect black pools. And they will have to face it. Oh yeah, they have a few moments on the surface world to look good. So again, you can create whatever you want, Charles. I would not say no. I'm not here to police people. That's not the idea. I'm focused. I'm like the captain of the ship. Whatever the crew's doing, on the deck or underneath the deck, okay, you're going to have to figure it out and face it, But I'm focused on, focused on the journey and what I'm creating and providing the best that I can in creation, and dodging things along the way, the potholes and whatever. Yeah, I've got to kind of drive around them too, but many of them I've got to go through. So again, you decide that. For me, no, I wouldn't utilize that. I would define it though, I would take the time to define the difference between what we're doing and a so-called miracle. Okay? But you decide. Yeah. Thank you for asking. Go ahead. Thank you, Eboke. You're wonderful. You guys are having your adventure over there. Yes, you and King. Kids are wonderful. Thank you so much for stepping up.
Yeah, Duane, thank you. You know why I decided to coin it that way? Because different regions will have different ways of looking at something, at a thing, and I want to think that people who reach out to others with the new presentation, especially in Africa, should have a kind of language that the people can understand. That is why after talking with Ebiok and knowing that the people are so much focused on miracles, they want their lives to turn around. So I thought could also talk of experiencing the miracle of your own real awareness. Yeah, which would be self-propelled, It's not something that will come from the outer, from the outside. It is something that you actually work for. And with the real awareness, you can handle all situations in your life that crop up from the standpoint of that higher awareness. So that's what I had in mind when saying that, because after all, we want the new presentation. We want to get it out there by it's something the world needs, and especially in places like that, you observe the people, their habits, their thought forms, and then you target a message. You coin a language that will appeal to them, and then the important thing is when they come closer to the new presentation, they discover for themselves. But then the catalyst for that change in direction would be maybe just a single word. Oh, the miracle! These people are also talking to a miracle of awareness. What is this? Let me explore it. And that is how they get the new presentation. That is how they know what the worldwide educators are doing. But how we get to them is very important. So that's what I had in mind. I don't know.
Yes, no, that's fine. You can take anything and it's workable. And so you can go along the old ideas and kind of drag it in, or you can, implement something. And I would suggest, and I can even create a group on this, it's the idea would be to learn to create your own miracles. Okay, so if you want to go along those lines, if I were to create a group, I would use that heading and then define it accordingly. And that is that, for the most part, most people are looking for miracles from something outside of themselves. And the reality is that you can help them wake up to the fact that, again, the miracles are part of creation and they're fine. Miracles are fine. It's how you apply them. And so eventually through that, but it's the better choice would be that you create your own instead of waiting for others to do it for you. So the marketing ploy has been that Jesus will come back to the earth and save it, well, or God will, or whatever. And this, again, that's in the hope mode, which is just, you just keep hoping. And that's what the reptilians want you to do from lifetime to lifetime, just keep hoping. They put people in the hope mode that it's going to happen. And so this is where the individual can decide for themselves. So if you want to use that idea, I would say go along those lines and to define it accordingly. And this also gives you the opportunity to define how creation works, because you're seeing the miracles around you. Like I've said, cell phone, cars, whatever it is, these are miracles. They really are. They're also black magic, like the atomic bomb and etc. Yeah, they're miracles, but they're also black magic. You know, a true miracle, and this is so, would be something that's a benefit to everybody. Okay? And so that's how I see it. Everything I do is for everyone. And the reality of my existence here with what I'm presenting is because of all of you. You see, this is where I'm very grateful to all of you, and this is where I support you with my gratitude and support, and that is that because without you, I don't exist. And the reality of what takes place here is that without us referencing the boys and the real guides, they don't exist, even though they really do, but no one can see them. So again, this is learning to see them. So that's how I would do it. Again, I'm not saying I'm right. It's not about being right or wrong. It's just that's one way, and then I may see it a different way. But it would be to where the individual learns to do it for themselves. You see, when you reference it a particular way, you know, you can say the miracle of real awareness. You can say that again. You know, look at how you reference in that, and imagine yourself as the onlooker. So would the onlooker still be looking for something else or some idea to do it for them? You know, when Tony Robbins is up there, or David Icke, or anybody, especially like Tony Robbins, and I'm not picking on him, he's good. He's good at marketing and etc. He's selling ideas. And people accept these ideas as reality. Well, they're just ideas. I can go do that. I can do any of these things. But it's, you know, making a lot of money and being popular and all these things like that. What's the end result? Is it going to do this? So I'm less popular and I don't make the money, but I'm into, you know, huge business deals all over the world. That is part of my adventure that will show up eventually. And I've been working on them a long time. But the point is that's for everybody. Everybody that's real and steps up, that is. It's not going to be a welfare program. That's not the idea. That doesn't work that way. But again, it's how you approach this idea, Charles. It's how you approach it. And so, again, I would reference it to the individual because miracles are in creation. And they can be used as a reference to the all is, and there's many ways to do it, and you can try and use that way. But again, it's like people chasing the carrot after the donkey. They're always chasing something. You got to bring it back to them. I just suggest you, in some way, you bring it around to them, to where they create that, and using like the cell phones and whatever. But keep in mind that yes, once you've created these miracles, like Jesus walked on water, supposedly, or whatever he did, whatever. Okay, that's all done. Divided the bread, created the fish, whatever. Although that's all cool, but that's already done and gone. Is he going to just hang around and do that? He didn't do that for everybody. You know, he wasn't doing that for everybody that he saw. You know, that he got himself into trouble too, because he was doing psychic miracles, raising Lazarus from the dead and whatever. So again, I would use, you know, look around, look at how people have created things for themselves. Those are the miracles. If you want to see a miracle, okay, it is producing something. And what most people don't realize, and when I did lectures in the public for many years, I would always refer to the fact, and it's a real fact, everything comes from the dirt. It really does. The dirt that you walk on, you know, that you don't want in your house. Everything that you're living in creation in is from the dirt. And most people don't realize that. So it takes a lot to do something to equal something to be created, and to now you see your cars, your TV sets, your cell phones, you just, whatever it is, airplanes, it's all from the dirt. It's all from the dirt, you see. And so, like the old saying, into the dirt it will return. And so, yes, we can create the miracles, but unless that miracle is created in a particular way or has a reference to the true reality life is, then it's a dead end. It's an absolute, another dead end. And these are the hints within the real side, or what people call dreams. See, life is always hinting to people, hey, that's not it. Okay, look over here, look over there. Always, all it can do is give the hints. Because as it comes into creation, it cannot provide the wake up. It can only give the hints. So how you approach this is up to you. That's just an idea, Charles. And yeah, the miracle idea is fine. But I would say to learn to create your own miracles. And you could create a group with that. And then from there, you better define it accordingly, how creation works and why you're here. But you can use that title to draw them in, because they do like the miracle idea. And that's why I've used many different groups. I've used many different ways to draw people in. And then through that, I create a definition. But it all goes to the is, you see? Because without that, there is no life. Because that's awareness. The is the awareness life is. And what we're experiencing here in creation is a simulated awareness. We're experiencing a simulation of that, because until we're ready to recognize the true reality life is, the real awareness that it is, well, we're not. That's just simple. It's like night and day. You're not. But at some point, but you must ignite, you must activate that decision. It must be decided, and to go from there. And see, then the guidance can step in, because you've utilized your free will. You utilize your free will to activate it. So now the guys go, oh, look, okay, he's deciding he wants to be awake, or he or she. Okay, now it's, the boys are ready. They're always there. And they will lend a hand as you decide to go step by step to wake up. So if you want to use that idea, yeah, go for it. It's just a suggestion how to kind of do it to where it points back to the individual, where, what I'm presenting to the world is showing people how to be self-sufficient, not dependent upon something outside of themselves. That becomes the difference. The invented systems, which I seem to criticize, which I really don't, I'm simply pointing out what they're doing.
Thank
and
you.
They're doing very well. They are making people dependent upon something outside of themselves. So it would be to bring it back to them. Charles, go ahead.
Yeah, I think what you've said about creating a group, a Facebook group, and actually giving an explanation of miracles within the context of the new nowness of the is, I think it will be the most authoritative statement on that. And I think in this with the new wave, everything is reinterpreted and revamped. And how cool it would be if we hear from the horse's own mouth, who has been to the summit and can reinterpret all this, put it into the perspective of the new nowness. I think it will be really good that we have that you say something about this that everyone can use as a reference, of what a miracle is supposed to be. Yeah, from the standpoint of the real awareness. So it will be. I really like that to come from you, and we work on that.
Again, it's this is you could say that creation is a miracle. It is. It's awesome. Creation is awesome, and it's again, it's all about what it refers to. And so, with this real relationship, what this all is, to recognize it. Okay, everything comes from that, and this is where it enhances the individual. To be, creatively wonderful. That's really what it does. Creation is fine. Do you want to, create an oil dump site? Do you want to drill for oil and do cracking and grow flowers and natural vegetables and whatever to sustain the world. See, it's choice. This is where creation is the miracle already. But it's the choice you make as to what. In other words, when everybody has everything, this is where I've said, everything is for everybody, and this is very real. And this is why they created the monetary system, because certain individuals want to control others. Well, there's enough of everything for everybody. There doesn't have to be any scarcity. But now we're on this planet, in this world, we're dealing with individuals that are not interested in everything for everybody. They're only interested in themselves. So they've got an agreement from a long time ago to do what they're doing, and they're still getting agreement. People are coming back and unconsciously agreeing to their own demise because of the systems that have been created. See, that's the difference. Yeah, you can put up an oil derrick and drill for oil, or you can build a hydroponics garden. The end result is the same. Why are people drilling for oil? Why did they create the monetary system? Supposedly to survive better. See, that's what's marketed. But yet they've already survived the best they can. But then also what is taking place with all the demise of the planet also is part of the big wake-up. See, it works both ways. So it's learning to see everything. But yes, Charles, what you brought up is very, very excellent. And I suggest you write something to the Africans about it also. Yes, I've said it in many different ways. And the idea of miracles. And everything is a miracle. Okay, because creation is the miracle already. When a mother produces a child, that's a miracle. That's an agreement made on the real side, and the person in the physical has decided to and agreed to help create the body for this individual to come through. And just like myself with the new presentation, I have agreed to create this so that people can wake up. You see, it's agreement. But all of creation is already the miracle. You see, it's not something different than what everybody is already doing. And this is where, bringing forward the new definitions and the new explanations and, the new knowledge and everything and the real awareness, overviewing everything comes in. And see, again, this is where everything is workable. Yes, because just like prayer and whatever, you could say that the New You sessions are prayer, but really what they are is a real connection, because the New You sessions are an idea, just like prayer is an idea. But what really activates it is the agreement, you see? That's what activates it. And so prayer and the New You sessions, they both need agreement to activate them. And it's what they are, focusing on and defining. So prayer is focused on another idea, which is the invented God idea. So that's idea to idea. And the New You session is a real connection to the true reality, which supersedes the miracle of creation, supersedes creation altogether into a true reality of recognition and real awareness where there are no effects. And this is what people don't see. Even though they're praying to their gods, you're still dealing with cause and effect. You still have to deal with God. And he's just not nice at times. You got to deal with him. Yes. He even says so in the Bible. He's a jealous God. He's an angry God. He gets pissed off. He throws lightning bolts. He doesn't do as many anymore because he gets karma for that. You see, there you go. See, have fun with those. You see, you're sharing the definition. So it's like, if you want your God, go for it. That's what he does. Oh, but I love my God, I love all the restrictions. The 10 Commandments, just like Paul said, those seem cool, don't they? But they're all restrictions. You want them, you got them. When people make statements, I just tell them, go pray to your gods. But there becomes the difference. So what is the same with what we're doing as everybody else is the agreement part. It takes agreement, just like all of you here. It takes agreement. And yes, the reality of this true reality becoming more defined and present and recognizable is because all of you have stepped up to take part in this, you see? That's why the boys stand real with each other. They are very focused and always ready because it's survival. Overall, it's survival. So yeah, go ahead and drill for oil and then go to the bank and cash it in and get the money and spend into the system. Does that make sense? We see what that's doing. Or we can do projects like the Vessel Project and hydroponics and whatever, work with the natural environment to where everybody has enough for everyone. And, we don't even need the monetary system anymore because people are self-sufficient. And now they're also recognizing this. So when they step out of here, that, hey, they're fine and they can even go on to a bigger adventure. But that bigger adventure is right here and now. It's not about stepping out of here, but at the same time being realistic with how the physical body is. Just like you know that your car and your computer, your cell phone are only going to last so long, you see. So again, it's being real with what is taking place in you will call it the miracle of creation, and it is. Everything here is a miracle. By the very fact that we decide something and it becomes so, there's your miracle. That's all. That's all Jesus did or anybody else. They simply decided something and it became so. This is where each person is already doing this themselves. And so you simply point that out, and it's like, it's you. It's you always deciding. You are the decider. And so you can wait at the bus stop like many of the Christians do for thousands of years, waiting for Jesus to fix all the funny things that they've decided to do, because they're free thinkers and they can do whatever they want, which they can, and it just gets them into trouble. This is where the free will goes wild. It's like, have fun. Life is not concern. Or, take the time to define this and bring this forward and step up to it. And as you do, the boys will back you. You back up what you say. So again, get ready to, deal with it, which is fine. I put things out there and I know I'm going to get a backlash from it. I look forward to it because that's my experience too. That's, that gives me more opportunities. So whatever a person says, I work off of that because I allow their free will to be whatever it is. And I have free will too, and I can say whatever I want. And this gives me an opportunity to present something that even if they're angry with me, all of a sudden they start to see something. And if they want to deny it, fine, but then I make sense of it. With their distortions, I make sense of their distortions. And if they want to continually decide them, fine, go ahead. I do this with my creditors, and now some of them are reading the books. Yeah, so I have fun with that. So again, it's taking on the challenge. But you're right on there, Charles, and that is stepping up to everything. See, as we create things, we step into it. And so now you know about the is. So now it's figuring something out. It's just like knowing about organic food as opposed to buying pesticide food. It's like, wow, I can figure this out myself. I can grow my own food. Yeah, you can make that decision. And so that's what we're doing, little by little. And we have to deal with the distortions of the world. And so, yes, again, thank you for bringing all these things up because it activates all this and the people here can hear it and it's recorded. So it provides a whole lot to the world. We're providing a real opportunity here. I love this. I love to do this. Yes. Yes. This is my love affair with life because I support the reality that is. See, it's all about that. There is no me. Yeah, I don't need me. Thing is that all I focus on is doing, because I'm already a part of it. I don't have to consider myself, and eventually, I don't have to consider those things that I think I need in creation, because again, it's all taken care of as I step up and stand real. That's where you're taken care of and you're self-sufficient. You don't have to consider anything anymore because you know what? It's already complete. That's the completeness of the isness. That's what's so cool. And see, that makes sense to recognize that to where, you know what? Everything is already complete and done. Yeah, and from there, it's an endlessness to recognize and perceive. Yeah, more so than anything here. But we're here now, so we play the game. We do whatever we do. And yes, the idea of miracles, it's fine. Yes, it's all fine.
Yeah.
Charles, go ahead.
Thank you, because In fact, it will really give many people a breakthrough, because people are laboring under the knowledge of the old systems. They are stuck. They don't know that everything has to be self-actuated, and these new interpretations will really give them a boost. So thank you for agreeing to this.